love. Okay. So now, have you ever met someone and instantly felt like you already knew this person? Like, whoa, where have you been? Like, oh my God. It's almost like, wow. Like, it seemed like I've known this person all my life. Have you ever had someone come into your life at the exact moment you needed them? Haha. Happened to me. After my mom passed, I was taking care of 2 houses. And then all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, my money is going down. Whoa, this is not working. Okay? And my money kept depleting. And all of a sudden, I get a call, a text out of the blue. And I mentioned this before, from my ex-boss from 15 years prior. He offered me a job, remote. And I've been doing it since then. And it has carried me through the hardest time of my life. I was like, whoa, Jeff, much love if you're watching. People come into your lives at a certain point when you need them. And it's already part of the divine plan. God won't put more on you than you can handle, okay? Have you ever wondered why certain people just kept triggering the same emotion from you? You get certain people in your life, and when you talk to them, and they trigger you in a certain way. Again, if you guys are feeling these things, don't, I see you, Yana. Don't sit there and listen. Mimi, I see you with dropping the 10 jewels. I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, don't think, these people are edging your nerve for no reason. Nothing happens by accident. Now, have you ever looked back years later and realized, now I understand why that person came into my life? Okay, you guys? Listen, you guys really need to start understanding why certain things are happening in your life. Okay? Nothing happens by accident. What is a soul family? A soul family is a spiritual idea that certain people may feel deeply familiar to you. They may not be your biological family, you guys. They could be a friend, romantic partner, co-workers, teachers, mentors, neighborhoods, even people you met briefly. You may feel an immediate sense of comfort, recognition, and connection with these people. Sometimes you could be apart from them for years and reconnect as though very little time has passed. Okay? Soul family does not automatically mean the relationship will always be easy. Okay? Your soul lesson. Okay, we're going to go through this. Some people may enter your life primarily to teach you something about yourself. They may bring up issues in you involving self-worth, which is one of the main things. Boundaries. Okay? Setting those boundaries, you guys. Speaking up for yourself. Letting go. Forgiveness. Independence. Trusting your intuition. Knowing when to stop rescuing people. You may not realize the lesson while you're going through it. Okay? Sometimes the meaning only becomes clear afterwards. How many of you guys have connected with someone from your childhood and that person is still part of your life now? You may not see that person, but you know there's some type of soul connection there. How many of you guys have had a very strong connection with another family? Maybe you dated the son. Maybe the girl is your best friend. Maybe the mother is like an auntie to you. Wait a minute, you guys. Don't ignore these signs. Don't ignore this connection. I have a family that I had positive and negative experiences with. from when I was 17 years old, 18 years old. And I know for a fact, good or bad, that these people came into my life for a soul lesson, a soul contract. And to tell you the truth, they may be my soul family. Good or bad. That don't mean to say you got to be around them. But I know this one family, even though they may not feel the same about me, but I know in my mind that these people was part of a soul contract, a soul lesson, and possibly a soul family. I know it. I may not see these people but once every 20 years. But because I had a connection around their whole family, I knew these people came into my life as a lesson, and we came in as part of my contract. Not affecting them as much, but basically affecting me. Because you might have a soul contract with a family for you, and they might have a soul contract with someone else. But the thing is, I know these people have a soul contract with me. Okay? Listen, you got to start listening or paying attention to what's going on around you to understand nothing happens by accident. Okay? Why do sometimes you meet someone and feel instantly familiar? You may feel like you talk to them about anything. There may be an immediate emotional connection. You might even think, where have I met this person before? Okay? In spirituality, people may interpret that a soul recognition, but feel familiar, but does not automatically mean this person is healthy for you or meant to stay in your life. You might meet a person for a season in your life, and then just as fast as they came in, they will leave. We all are here on a journey, you guys, all of us. And we all need to learn lessons. And if we were living comfortable and no problems, how can we learn the lessons that we came here for our soul to learn? God just didn't put us here and say, go experience life. No. We came to learn. We are spiritual beings. Beings with a soul. And our soul needs to grow. This is just a shell that we are utilizing at this moment to fulfill our life experience here. Whether we treat it good or bad, we are here temporarily to experience life and then move on. I believe in reincarnation, you guys. Okay? So whatever you don't learn in this lifetime, I feel it's going to come over and over and over again, not only in this lifetime, but in the next. Maybe a different face, maybe a different situation, but the same lesson. Okay? Okay. Now, another thing. Soul families does not always mean it's easy. This is where people can get confused. Someone can feel deeply familiar and still challenge you. Soul families may support you, but they also may push you to grow. A person can potentially be both soul family and soul lesson. The relationship itself may be part of your growth. And I'm going to go to this. Wow. 16, 17. You know, which one were you? Were you the bully? Okay? Or were you the one receiving? And then sometimes in your life, you're the bully and someone else is receiving. We all have soul lessons. And if these people follow you or affect you a long time of your life, then you need to start saying, is this person part of a soul contract to come into my life this way to teach me a lesson? Now listen, you guys, I'm being very clear with you guys now. There ain't no hiding here at all, because we all here to learn. We're all here to grow. You might have been a bully to someone. You might say, I can't believe I did that, you know? But maybe that was a lesson they needed to learn, and maybe you came in connected to that person to teach that person a lesson. And maybe that person is a soul family member that came here to push you in a certain direction for you to learn. Please, you guys, give me that thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying. Okay? Soul family, soul lessons, soul contracts do not have to be with somebody all the time that is loving. The most difficult person in your life, I almost can guarantee you, when you leave this earth, you're going to say, whoa, that spiritual girl that was on YouTube, she said this. And whoa, she was right. That teacher that criticized you, that teacher that supported you, came here at that moment and you crossed paths for that lesson, for that push, for that motivation to become whoever it is you're going to be. You know, so many people have put down people and caused them to rise up. You're not going to be anything. You're not going to do anything. And then that same emotions that was held on, though that same comment that was put on them, stayed with them year after year after year after year, until the point they make it bigger than anybody that they know. It happens. This person came into your life for you to grow to be who you are now. Nothing happens by accident. And when you don't get the lesson and learn from it, it repeats and repeats and repeats. Okay? Now, signs you may be dealing with a soul lesson. The person strongly triggers you. Who in your family triggers you? When you pick up the phone, you just feel your stomach just like, you know, before they even open up their mouth. Okay? The same issue keeps repeating, as I told you before. You keep getting that relationship. That relationship is causing you to do the same thing you did in the first relationship. Or it's giving you the same emotional feelings that you felt in the other relationship. What is the lesson? Self-worth, self-love. Whoa. Part of my life lesson. There ain't no sugarcoating here, you guys. We all here to learn a lesson. Okay? What is life teaching you, and what is the lesson you came here to learn? What contract did you sign when you came here and was born on this earth? And who was coming with you? Whether it was going to be a teacher criticizing you, telling you you weren't going to be nothing, or maybe that teacher that said, hey, look, you may not have the highest grade in this class, but you're the one that prospered the most in this class. And not only are we going to give that person for being the highest grade, but we're going to give you an award for you improving the most. That one comment for me, the girl with the speech problem, cracked open a shell. 2 years later, I was in honors classes. Just that quick, you guys. I was in honors classes. I was a smart one in the family. I then went to college, not one time, not two times, not three times, not four times, 5 times. I was the one. And I say to myself, my family did it to me because they kept adding the energy. But that one teacher that said, you're the most improved, caused something to snap. That teacher, life purpose in my life was to cross paths with me as my 5th grade teacher and open the doors for me. Mr. Bradley in Iceland. If you're watching, toodles to you. Much love. My thing is, start paying attention to the people that cross your path. Good or bad. And if it continues, really pay attention to that. This person here, let's go back to this person. I'll probably snap her head in two right about now, you know. This person here, you cannot tell me this person wasn't part of a soul contract for me. You can't tell me this person wasn't here to teach me a soul lesson. And to tell you the truth, this person probably part of my soul family. My comment moderators are probably saying, you gotta be kidding. No way. Yeah. Nothing happens by accident, you guys. You attract, okay, another sign you may be dealing with your life, your soul lesson. You find yourself saying, why does this keep happening to me? You attract different people who create the same type of problem. The relationship forces you to make a decision you have avoided again and again and again. You begin learning how to set boundaries. You finally stop accepting something you used to tolerate. And what I put on my shirt, you guys? No. No. Everybody say it right now. No. If it's not something you want to do, no. Sometimes we want to help people, but at the end of the day, no. That is part of my lesson. I no longer have a need for control. I now trust my life, and the lives of others. I release, I let go, and I trust. I give it to you, universe. What I'm telling you, we all have things we have to learn. No matter how difficult it is, we have to learn. For not only ourselves, but to allow other people to grow. Okay. The relationships, okay. You begin learning how to set boundaries. You finally stop accepting things that you used to tolerate. And again, you learn to say no. You start discovering something important about yourself through the connection. Repeated patterns, you guys. This is a big one. Different faces, same situation. Life lesson. Soul contract. Okay? Different girlfriend, same problem. Different friend, same betrayal. Different boss, same feeling of being undervalued. Different family member, same family boundary issues. That is when you may want to ask, what is this situation trying to show me? Okay, you guys? Look at the things in your life and say, whoa, what is the lesson behind this? Once you learn the lesson, it disappears, you guys. The lesson is learned, it dissolves, and you move on to another lesson. Okay? The mirror. Sometimes another person brings out something in us we don't want to look at. Like attracts like. They may expose an insecurity. They may show us where we give our power away. They may reveal where we are afraid to speak up. They can even show us behaviors in ourselves that we need to change. The lesson is not always about what they are doing. Sometimes it's about what the experience is revealing to you. Ah, wow. Examples of this. You keep meeting people who take too much from you. You are always helping. You are always giving. You are always fixing. Eventually you realize the lesson may not be, why do people use me? The deeper question may be, why do I keep saying yes when I should be saying no? Again, one of my lessons, you guys. An example of self-worth lesson. You repeatedly deal with people who do not appreciate you. You keep trying harder to prove your value. Then eventually you recognize maybe my lesson is to stop convincing people that I am worthy. How many of you guys do this in relationships? Example, the rescuer lesson. Again, going back to part of my life. You constantly attract people you need to save. They have problems, crises, financial issues, emotional issues. And there you go, the fixer. At some point, the lesson may be learning that loving someone does not always mean carrying them. Soul family versus blood family, you guys. Some people feel closer to friends than they do their biological family. They may meet someone who understands you in a way your own family does not. That does not necessarily mean your biological family is unimportant. It simply opens the possibility that family can experience spirituality as well as biological within the biological family. The people you never think are your soul family. This is very important because it might be a difficult parent, a sibling you constantly crash with, an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, a teacher, like I said before, a boss, a childhood friend, someone you only knew a short period of time, even someone who irritated you enough to finally make you change. Okay? Sometimes the person that helped your growth the most may be the person who treated you the nicest. Okay? So what I'm telling you guys is that you guys really need to start understanding soul lessons, because it's going to repeat over and over and over again. Okay? You need to understand your soul contract. Why did you come here? What is your purpose here? Start looking at your life path number, your destiny number, and start looking at the challenges you faced throughout your life. Some of the challenges was brought to your attention as a child. Maybe you didn't feel loved. Maybe you was put in a world where you had to fend for yourself most of the time. Whatever it is, there's a reason, and how you address it and how you move forward and how you cope with it is going to be based on, it's going to determine if you learned this lesson so that you can check it off and keep moving. Okay, so I wanted to say this too. Short encounters can matter too. Not every meaningful encounter has to last 20 years. Someone may just say one sentence that changed your life. You might go in a store and might be feeling down. And all of a sudden, somebody just steps up to you and say, I feel your pain. Listen, God has something for you. You are about to blow up, open up, and your world is about to change. That person might walk away. And for that brief second, that person was in your life to change your path, to change your trajectory of where you are going. That one person has just changed your life. Okay? It is just that simple, you guys. Karmic type patterns. In metaphysical traditions, repeated difficult connections are sometimes called karmic relationships or karmic lessons. This important question is not necessarily who we are in the past life. The more useful question can be, what pattern is happening right now? What pattern did I come into this earth with? What pattern am I having? It could be from another lifetime that you just did not learn the lesson. For me, I don't want to keep repeating my life, learning the same lesson over and over and over again. I want to get it over with and move on and continue my spiritual growth. Okay? The way you know this is what keeps repeating. What you keep tolerating. What am I afraid to change? What is this relationship teaching me? Again, it's crazy, you guys. You guys are probably saying, whoa, Eyvette, whoa. Okay, whoa. We all are here to learn a lesson, if you know it or not. I want you to stop and ask yourself this. What does this person trigger in me? What boundaries is this relationship asking me to establish? Who am I becoming because of this connection? Why people enter at certain times, okay? Think about timing of certain people entering your life. Sometimes somebody appears right before a major change. Again, you guys, my mom passed and I get a call because I'm handling like, oh my God, I would say about $10,000 worth of bills a month. I'm not lying. Okay? And this person called, and with that alone, I was able to do it. Okay? People come at the right time and then they move on. Or you move on. But they were there at that certain time. They may come at a time where a major life change happened, a new career, needing encouragement, right when you're questioning your spirituality, right when you're finally ready to hear something different. That is where the concept of divine timing comes in. You have not been ready for that person or that message until 5 years later. You are all here on this channel because it was meant for you to be here, meant for you to listen, meant for you to get the message. No matter who's giving you the message. When the time is right, the teacher appears. When the time is right, the message appears. Okay? So now, listen, you guys. You have to understand the connection. At sometimes the relationship may not make any sense at all. Years later, you might look back and connect the dots. If I never met them, I wouldn't have gone there. If I haven't gone there, I would not have met this person. If the situation hasn't happened, I would never have changed directions. One connection can create a chain of events. Okay? Why someone leaves your life? This can be included without making the life. This can be included without making your life like you don't understand it. Okay? Sometimes people simply move in a different direction. Okay? Sometimes the relationship changes after the lesson changes. Sometimes you outgrow the dynamic. Sometimes they outgrow you. Sometimes you reconnect later, and sometimes you do not. Their leaving does not ease whatever meaning the connection had. Okay, you guys? Because sometimes you are both supporting each other. Maybe you're not getting your lesson, but they are getting theirs, and they move on. You might then connect back with them later when it's time for you to understand this is the lesson. Okay? So a big takeaway is, instead of asking, why did this happen to me? I want you to ask, what did this experience reveal to me? What changed in me because I met them? What did I learn about myself? Okay? Listen, put it in the chat, you guys. Have you ever met somebody that just irked you? Have you ever met somebody that gave you one comment and it opened up your world? Okay? Totally changed the way you were thinking. Have you ever met a group of people in one family that you feel connected to? It may have been good or bad, but for some reason you're connected around this family. Have you ever had a lesson that just repeated over and over and over again, especially with the relationships, especially with self-love and self-worth? Okay? What lesson are you learning at this moment? And what lesson have you learned already? It's unbelievable how nothing happens by accident. You were born in this family for a reason. The reason is never, oh, I was just born into this family. No. The reason is because they needed to teach you a lesson and you needed to teach them a lesson. Somehow you were put together to learn from each other, support each other during a time of need. That's all you need to know. And then you move on. Now, I will tell you, most likely, the family you are in right now is part of your soul family. Your brother may have been your sister. Your mother may have been your girlfriend, your best friend, whatever. All the people that you know are really, really, really affecting your life. And they're there. And they don't have to be biological. Believe me, they came into this life to cross paths with you for a reason. You were born in this family to learn a lesson and for you to learn a lesson. Or for them to learn a lesson. Love. Unconditional love. Okay? What is it? You have a family member that you don't agree with the way they're living their lives. Okay? Maybe you were born here in that family to learn unconditional love. Everybody has their life, their preference, whether it's sexuality, whether it's who they choose to marry, whatever. Maybe you want them to marry into their own culture and they choose to go out of their culture. Unconditional love. Maybe you got a problem with this. If it's not what I want it to be, I don't want it. No. Then you're going to keep repeating that lesson over and over and over again. Why were you born in this family? A lot of turmoil going on in this family. A lot of arguing, a lot of bickering, a lot of disrespect and crossing of boundaries. You were born in this family because you are there to learn part of this lesson too. People always point fingers. No, that's my family. They're a hot mess. And you're part of this family. And most likely you're a hot mess too. But you're all here together to learn a lesson. That lesson might be learning to respect one another. Learning to make sure there's boundaries for each of you. You don't cross certain boundaries. And if you're all together and all this turmoil is going on all around you, you guys really, really, really got a life, a spiritual, a life contract that you, a soul contract that you came here to learn. And when you don't learn it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then boom, it explodes. What lesson are you here to learn? Okay? Some people may come to you to love you. Some people might come to you to support you. Some people might come to challenge you. I'm going to put this back up there. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Some may come to you to redirect you. And some may teach you something you never would have learned without meeting them. So instead of asking, again, you guys, why are they in my life? Ask, what is the connection showing me? Okay? And that is my lesson. So lessons, and we may have many, many, many lessons while we're here. Soul contracts, the people we're going to cross to learn these lessons. Soul families. These are the group of people we reincarnate with a lot. They seem so familiar with you. They're your people. You just love them. They're part of your soul contract, your soul family. When you go on that earth, I'm coming, but I'm going to be that girl that you just can't stand. Are you serious? Yes, I am. And I'm going to give you hell when you get down there. Come on, bring it to me. Everyone has a reason. And I'm going to tell you right now, through spirituality, I can look at people and say, whoa, you're part of my soul contract. I grew up with a group of kids. I had 2 brothers and myself, and there's another family that had a cousin, a brother, and a sister. The sister and I was the same age. The brother and my younger brother was the same age. And the older brother, cousin, and my brother was the same age. Single mother. Soul contracts. Probably soul families. Don't mean to say you got to see these people all the time. But I look at things like this now. Okay? How people affect your life. How they keep crossing. How, if something was to happen to them 20 years from now, you feel it. You really feel it. Because they're connected to you. They're not going to be in your life all the time. They're not going to be in your life probably until the end. But we all came here with a lesson or lessons, and we came here with a major lesson, which is part of our soul contract. And we came here with people that is going to connect to us. They have an assignment. At 35, you're going to work with this person, and you're going to teach this person this lesson. And if you don't get the lesson at 40, we're going to send somebody else that's going to be there to help teach you that lesson again and again and again and again. And if you don't get it, believe me, when you come here, we're going to let you know you didn't get it, and then we're going to send you back out. And it's just, I can't prove this, but I feel it. And I'm sure most of you here feel it too, where you just know there's a reason for you knowing this person. And again, you guys, that is the lesson for today, okay? Soul lesson, soul family, soul contract. If you understand what I'm saying, you guys, give me a thumbs up, you guys. Give me a thumbs up, because this is important. And again, this is something we all must learn. Again, for all the members, right after this, in about another 10 minutes, I'm going to go over some spiritual breath work for you guys to help open up to spirituality, help open up to receiving messages. Some breath works that I know of that I can teach you guys to help you guys further your spirituality, okay? And that's for all members, okay? Much love. Don't forget, you guys, to please go to My World of Metaphysics and sign up for the email list so that you guys can get emails. And again, look through it, you guys. When I have a class, it'll be posted there. And at the same time, you can buy my books there from either Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, Google, or my website. So everything is there, you guys. And again, don't forget, coming soon will be simple protection rituals. And again, this is more than just, oh, protect me from somebody that's after me. Protect your wallet, okay? Protect your peace, your peace. Everybody needs to know how to protect themselves when they walk out that door. How to protect themselves and their energy when they talk to people, okay? So again, you guys, much love to you. Today's lesson was soul lesson, soul family, or soul contract. You be the judge.